undefined, soul's desire. You don't even know what you did. Now I'm on fire, fire, burning, burning out of control, taking me higher, higher, a feeling I can't hold on my own.
Hello and welcome to My Psychic Connection with me, Innerji The Metaphysical Crone. I hope everyone is off to a great start with their week. I am so happy and excited to be with you here once again, offering readings. There's the mystic moment later in the show. We have our crystal connection and we have something new tonight. We have the lightning round. More about that later. And of course, we've got the emoji game. So make sure you start plugging in those kangaroos for me. And the person who puts in the most emojis will win a divination reading. Just one of the few free prize divination readings I'll be offering this evening. And of course, my theme tonight is the element of water. I had to choose a beautiful wave with some dolphins to create that effect for us all. So more about that later. Let's start with the readings. Let's talk about what we need to do tonight. So remember, we have our 2-minute free reading. When that bell goes, I have to zip my lips. Now, if you would like a longer and more in-depth reading, then you can donate and choose from a quickie reading, a mini reading, or a mega reading. And those 3 readings will take you to the top of the queue. And please remember, when you put your question in, please be patient. Take time, because we have so many platforms that we broadcast out to, and we have so many people putting in questions. So please be patient and we will get to your question as quickly as possible. Now, remember, with the donated readings, if you donate before the end of the show, that guarantees you a reading in this show. For the free readings, we will get to as many people as possible. Okay, let's talk about some of our no-go zones. So the no-go zones are no health or medical related questions. That includes pregnancy prediction, and no legal or law related questions at all. We will pass those by. The other thing about our questions is please keep them specific. No general questions. And what do I mean by specific? Give me a little context, a little bit of meat and juice to it. If you're asking about a relationship, are you in one already? Are you looking to be in one? If it's about work, explain a little bit about the situation that you're asking about. And that means I can drop into the answer much more quickly than having to tune in and find where you're coming from. So remember, no general questions. I hope you're ready for a great night tonight, because I know I am. So let's take our first question, please. Who do we have? And we have Gemma. Hello, beautiful Gemma. And Gemma asks, Adam went out of town to a party. That night, he added a girl called Dominique on his Instagram. He has a lot of female friends, which is good, but is there anything I should be concerned at on either side? Well, Gemma, let's have a little look about this person added on to his Instagram account. Let's put out some cards. And I am using my relationship deck. Okay, so the first card I have up for you, Gemma, is the Emperor reversed. Now, this is saying to me that no, Adam doesn't have any ulterior motives about making friends with this person. I feel it's just someone he's met. And as you say, he has lots of female friends, and that is okay. But I don't feel that he has any particular ulterior motive around putting this person on his Instagram connection. I have the Hierophant here, and this to me represents the other person. And I feel that this is a person that has connected with Adam, but I'm not seeing love. I'm not seeing love with this. I'm seeing it more as a friendship, as a connection that has been made. And I also have the Knight of Swords. And this one is for you, my dear. It's about not letting your mind take over, not letting your worries and overthinking about the people that Adam is meeting. And Gemma says, he's a girl's best friend. And she's laughing. I said, yeah, what a beautiful soul that he is. So don't get caught up in the what ifs. Why is this happening? Why have they become friends? We have friends of all, of all types of different genders. So don't overwhelm yourself by questioning and asking. The only time you really need to worry about that is when something is really happening. And in Adam's case, that's a no. Let's add a tea coin and see what we have. Oh, we've got the roses. Look, don't worry about the friends that Adam makes and their impact on him. He loves you and it is blossoming, that beautiful heart rose. So I don't want you to over worry. And that applies to everyone. We all have a tendency when we're in a relationship with someone, we sort of think, oh, is that girl going to come after my husband? Is that boy going to come after? Or is that whatever? We kind of get these little things. And when we start thinking that way, what it's really doing is bringing up our own fears. And so when we're looking at the potential of something like that happening, we have to look at whether it's something that we're just bringing up as a fear or whether there really is a reason to worry. And Gemma says, that's brilliant. Thank you. Gemma, you are so welcome. And of course, with all feedback that we have here at My Psychic Connection, whether it's my show or someone else's, don't forget you can leave a review. We love receiving feedback and getting a feel for how our readings are helping you. And you can do that by going to journeyryanlive.com. Click on the review section and you can pop your review in there. But Gemma, thank you so much for your question. Let's go on to our next question. Who do we have, please? And we have Paul. Paul's asking, may I have a reading regarding love? Will I find love soon? I'm single. Well, Paul, welcome. Let me just have a look. I will use my romance deck for you again and have a look at love coming into your life, and we will have a look at timing for you. So let's see. We're going to look at December, January, and February. We're just going to go 3 months to start with. So for December, I feel that it's a no for December. I feel like with this particular 5 of Wands, I feel like you've got to get yourself out there a little bit more for starters. And I do feel that you don't want to jump into a relationship too quickly. I'm getting this feeling, and sometimes I get feelings that have nothing to do with the cards I'm seeing, but I'm getting this feeling as you kind of want it now. When will it happen? And you're anxious about it. And it's about chilling out and getting in the habit of meeting people to see who might be out there waiting for you, as opposed to, is that the one? Is that the one? Go out and date and meet people. But I don't see that special person coming in December. January, I've got the Chariot reversed, and I feel January is a month where you need to go a bit more slowly in terms of meeting people. I feel that you need to give it time. What is going on within you that is putting up a block? That's the words that have been put into my head for you. There is some sort of block. You want this, but. You want this, but. So I feel that that's something that you can look at now in order to clear it, in order to move forward. And let's look at the chances of February. February is looking more positive. Even though the card is upside down, it's very positive this way. I've got the 8 of Cups reversed. And as you can see, with it upright, this person is on their own. They don't know what they're doing. They're sad. And I feel that that will start to change in February for you. I feel that February will be the month where you will be more inclined to meet someone for a longer term relationship. Let's grab a tea coin and see what we have. Oh, yes. Clear way forward. Thank you so much for your question. That was a great question. I do like those kind of relationship questions, and I wish you well with it in the future. So tonight's theme is all about the water element. And the water element, and it's interesting, we've had a couple of kind of love relationship questions because the water element is about our heart. It's about our emotions. It is about our relationships, but it's also about soft, gentle healing. It's about our intuition, and it's also about our subconscious mind, all that stuff that goes on in our minds that we're not quite aware of or that we're not ready to bring to the surface. And water is both powerful and transformative. I mean, look at the wave behind me. That's a powerful wave. That's a transforming wave. So water isn't always this gentle flowing. It can be, but it can also be quite tumultuous as well. And when we think of tumultuous water, we think of emotions that are erratic and all over the place. So that's just something to be aware of. Water is also the symbol of rebirth. Healing. It's also a symbol of fertility when you think of the baby in the womb. And Paul says, thank you. Paul, my sweet, you are so welcome. And when we think about the child in the womb floating in that amniotic fluid, they are floating in the element of water. It's also about change, but this is a change that transitions and flows. It can relate to our dreams. It can help us bring clarity in how we feel. It's such an incredible element. I'm going to talk more about that later, but right now let's take another question. Who do we have, please? And we have Kat. Hello, Kat. Great to see you here. And Kat says, why would Jeff lie and pretend to be engaged to someone else? I don't understand his goal with that. Since I met him, he always lies about the weirdest things to make me want him. Okay, Kat, let's have a look at why he's pretending to be engaged to someone else. Is he trying to make himself more attractive to you? That could be one reason, but let's see what the cards have to say for you. We've got 3 cards that I've put out. Now, don't let this card scare you. It's called the Death card. All the Death card means is that things are transforming, things are transitioning. What I'm seeing with this is that he is trying to find different ways to really keep your attention, to really draw you into a relationship. And he feels, because of a lack of self-esteem that he has about how attractive he might be, that's the feeling I'm getting, he's using all of these other ways. Instead, what he needs to do is have open, honest communication with you. But I feel that change is afoot around this for him. We've got the 8 of Wands reversed, and I feel that things aren't quite in alignment from your side of it. I feel that you are not prepared to commit yourself until he opens up and comes clean. And I think that's a fair thing for you to want. I've then got the World reversed. And so I feel like in terms of moving forward with Jeff, I feel things are very closed off at the moment. I feel like you're hesitating. And so what I'm seeing here is one of the things you need to do is look at what you want from this relationship. Look at what you want from this person and look at how they're behaving and see how you can go about changing that from the way you feel about it, because you can only change you. You can't change another person. They really want to change themselves. And the question mark. So it is a time of questioning. I feel like this potential, the relationship and the potential of it is a little bit like this at the moment. And I feel is low self-esteem. Thank you so much for your question. And that was a really, really good one. All right, a little bit more about water. Did you know that water is revered in many, many spiritual traditions? They are. Some of them are related to purification, cleansing. Think of being christened and baptized in the Christian church. But in other areas like Wicca, water is also used for cleansing and purification. There are so many uses spiritually and esoterically for the element of water, for all of the 4 elements. And of course, out of the 4 elements, water is the most soothing and calming when it's in its natural state. When it turns into a tsunami, well, that's a different matter, isn't it? All right. Now, remember, keep putting those emojis in. I want to see lots and lots and lots and lots of kangaroos, because later in the show, you will win a divination reading from me. So let's take another question, please. Who do we have? And we have Pooja. And Pooja asks, what are Naman's current feelings and thoughts about me? We haven't communicated much from some time. Well, let's have a look at that for you and see how his feelings are for you at the moment. So let's do some cards for that. Well, I feel that he's very, very busy with himself. I've got the Emperor card, and the Emperor card is, the Emperor is kind of a non-emotional person, sort of steps back and looks at everything, very much observes, makes decisions from the head, not the heart. So I feel like at the moment he's not actually focusing on you 100%. He's focusing on what he needs to do for himself. And this is kind of confirmed with the Hierophant card reversed. I feel that the connection isn't there at the moment. He's pulled back for some reason. And I've also got the page of, which one is it? Page of Swords. So I actually don't see this changing soon. So in terms of his feelings towards you, I don't feel that there are strong emotional feelings at the moment. So if you're looking at a relationship with this person as opposed to a friendship, then I feel that there's much more that needs to be done for that to possibly come about. And then I've got the Empress. So in terms of his feelings, he is a gentle soul in so many ways. But with this Emperor card, there is something going on at the moment where he can't focus on relationships. He's trying to actually hide his emotions and protect his heart right now. Not with anything to do with you, but there's some other thing going on in his life. So I feel that it's not so much about you, it's more about him and his feelings towards you. I am not seeing a lot of sort of romantic love at the moment. And I've got the cane as the tea coin. And this is saying to me that for you, you need to just get on with things for now and support yourself. Move forward in the things that you need to do and don't sit back and wait. I hope that's been of help. Thank you so much for your reading. Really appreciate it. Ghosting. Isn't that the fancy term when people stop communicating with you? Isn't that the new modern term? I'm so behind the times with all these words. But ghosting, it can be hurtful when people stop connecting with you for seemingly no reason at all. But remember, we all have things going on in our own life that don't necessarily relate to the person that is being ghosted. Sometimes we just need to step back and have our own time, take care of our own stuff. So I always encourage people when it comes to being ghosted, think about it first. Is it that you're really being ghosted and they don't want to talk to you anymore? Or is it because they've got something going on? And ask yourself, have you been ghosting someone else because you've got stuff going on in your life? It's never either or. It can be both. All right, let's go on to our next question. Who do we have, please? And we have Casey. Hello, Casey. Lovely to see you here. And Casey says, I have a demo to present on Tuesday to a small group of internal colleagues. Only 30 minutes. Will this go well? Well, let's have a look. So I'll just shuffle my deck for you, Casey, and see if this presentation will go well for you. So I'm going to look at the beginning. Oh, and then as you go through it, and the end. Oh, wow. This is looking really positive, Casey. First of all, when you first start going into this presentation, I've got the Ace of Cups. Hello, water element. And so this is looking like it's going to be a big opportunity for you really to connect with the participants, but also to share the information that you have in a more heartfelt way, not just purely, these are the facts, ma'am. I see you being able to present this in a way that people are going to get interested and going to get passionate about it. So that is really positive. Just be aware as you go through the presentation, I've got the Queen of Wands reversed. Just be aware of making sure that you keep pacing yourself through the 30 minutes because I think it is going to be an intense 30 minutes in a positive way though. And you don't want your energy to drop too soon. So keep your energy up, keep your passion up around the presentation. And then as you get to the end of the presentation, how will it wind up? I've got the Two of Cups upright. And this is saying that there will be a real connection with these participants, with these colleagues. They will understand and they will sense what it is that you were trying to do with that presentation. And I actually feel that if there are colleagues there that you haven't had, I won't say a bad relationship with, but you haven't been connecting with, it's really going to open up those connections in terms of the workplace and having that sense of harmony with them moving forward. Let's add a tea coin. We've got to do a tea coin for you. And we've got the Man tea coin. So keep an eye out for someone in that group that you're presenting to. You might have a deeper connection. Now, not a romantic one. We're not going there. But you might have a deeper connection with this person in the to your work. So it looks good. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for your question. That was absolutely wonderful. So a little bit more about water. We find water everywhere. We're about, what, 60 to 80% water in our own bodies? We would not survive on this planet. Do you know you can only go 3 days without drinking water before it has an extreme effect? And that's really, like, it's 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. So water is vital to us being here on the planet. It's vital to keeping our organs hydrated, keeping our body hydrated, keeping our blood flowing. It has so many physical, wonderful things that we require, but it also has wonderful requirements when it comes to our spirituality as well. I love using water in my own personal, for want of better word, rituals that I do. And some of the ways that you can use water in rituals is to spend time in nature. If you're lucky enough to live near a beach, go and sit on the beach. Watch the ebb and flow of the waves coming in and going out, and find yourself in that rhythm. It's very calming and soothing. Perhaps you might like to go to a lake and gaze on the stillness of a lake. That also is great for stress, bringing down high stress levels. So there are so many ways that you can use water, but more about water later on. Let's go straight to crystal connection. Yes, it is time for crystal connection. So before the show, we chose a beautiful crystal, and I want you've got 2 minutes to start keying in which crystal you think I have chosen. I'm going to give you a little hint. It's a blue crystal. So start keying in, and the winner of this crystal connection will receive a divination reading from me. But speaking of crystals, let's talk about a different crystal. This is not the winning crystal. This is an aqua aura. I'll put it there so you can see it. It's actually part of a wand I have. This is an aqua aura. Now what it is, it's a clear quartz crystal that's been bonded with gold at extremely high temperatures. So the gold gets infused into the crystal. And this beautiful aqua aura is associated with the throat chakra. So it's a great crystal to help with communication. It's a great crystal to help you express what you truly feel, as opposed to what you think you should say, because we live in a world where we kind of do that a lot. It can also help emotional extremes because it is linked to the element of water, so it can help balance out our emotions. It can also harmonize our energy fields. We have more than one energy field, and it can harmonize all of them and help us to function much more effectively. It's also great for calming emotions, just calming us down. So therefore, aqua aura is a beautiful stress reliever when you hold it. It can also reduce and even eliminate anger. Now, how are you going? Are you keying in all of those blue crystal guesses to see who's going to win the divination reading? The other thing that I like about this particular crystal is that it can help with grief and trauma and emotional disturbances of all kinds. It can help support those. And also I find that it can help release old emotional wounds by looking, when we look at the shadow side, we're looking at our emotional wounds, and we're looking at this crystal as a support mechanism to help us deal with that and move through it. It also boosts your sense of great worth. And Journey says it's a great, sorry, put that up again, Journey. Oh, no winner tonight. Journey says it's a great conductor. It is. Aqua aura is a fabulous conductor. It's great for all of the chakras, even though specifically the throat. But okay, no winner tonight. So I am going to do a general reading, the only time I do a general reading. And I'm going to use a brand new deck. So here we go. This is the deck Whispers of Aloha. So let's do some cards, and this is for the collective, for everyone. So remember, take what resonates for you and disregard the rest. So let's see what we have. Okay. Oh, the artwork in these is sensational. So the first card I have is Revel in the Wave. Look at the surfer there. Beautiful. And this is saying, this is about enjoying the exuberance of an experience, a joyful experience. You know, we kind of sometimes can be too cool for ourselves. You know, something exciting happens, we go, oh yeah, oh yeah. But this is about being exuberant. It's about riding the wave of excitement, riding the wave of joyful, positive emotions. That is where you need to be right now. That is what you need to take on board if you're finding that life is a little bit on the lower side. The other card I have around this is when you're doing this joy and exuberance, consider others. If someone else is low, joy and laughter is definitely contagious. I believe joy can be contagious if we approach it in the right way. So this is saying consider others. How can you bring that exuberance, passion, and joy into someone else's life at the moment, as well as your own, and doing it from a kind, compassionate heart? And the third card I have is on the lookout with the owl high in the sky. This is about you looking out for what's bringing you joy in your life. You know, we can get so caught up in the negatives. We can get so caught up in what's going wrong that we forget to look at the exciting, wonderful times that still exist if we choose to look at them. So for this general reading for our crystal connection, it's about connecting to the exuberance of life, the passion and joy of life, sharing that with others, helping to boost them, and being on the lookout for other new joyful opportunities coming your way. I do hope you found that reading to be helpful. And of course, thank you for playing Crystal Connection. And let me know what you think about the new deck. Isn't it beautiful? Love the artwork. All right. Well, I think we should go straight on to a new question, please. Who do we have? And we have Cindy. Hello, beautiful Cindy. And Cindy says, good evening. I messaged my friend Jay on Messenger last night. I told him goodbye. They read my messages. I just want to know how they felt after I told them, and do they want it to be over? I felt I was holding on to nothing. All right, let's have a look and see how they've felt about this particular message saying goodbye. Let's shuffle the deck. So I'm using my relationships deck again because it's all about the heart, isn't it? Okay. I've got the Seven of Cups here. And once again, I feel that with Jay, everything's all over the place. I feel like he's received the message, he's acknowledging it, but he has to move on, and so do you, Cindy. Let him come back to you when the time is right. Don't you chase him. Okay? You've been really good. You've been fantastic with him. You've been supportive, but it's time for you to move on and let it go until Jay is ready to come back. And I've got the High Priestess card here. And so I feel like in terms of Jay's feelings towards you, they're still there. They're still there, but they can't be activated at the moment. They just can't be active with this High Priestess card. Everything is pulled in. Everything is within. And I've got the Ace of Wands reversed. And this is saying to me that in the future, there is still a small opportunity for things to reconnect, for things to come back on track. But it has to come from Jay, not you. So right now, in terms of his feelings, he's still working through things emotionally with that Seven of Cups. His emotions are being pulled in all sorts of directions. And so he just can't give you that energy. But know that there is potential for the future, but you have to allow Jay to contact you, not the other way around. You need to focus on your life moving forward. And I've got the bell, right on the bell, that one. So I have to do a destiny case since I'm right on the bell. I got the bell. There we go. All right. And Cindy says, thank you with a lovely heart. And don't forget, speaking of hearts and emojis, keep putting those kangaroo emojis in because I want a winner for the emoji competition. I'm so looking forward to reading for that winner. Okay, let's take a little bit more of a look at water. Water has been used in different cultures, not just for drinking, not just for cooking, not just for washing, but for different spiritual reasons. For example, the ancient Egyptians held the Nile River. The Nile River was almost like a god or a goddess to them and held such spiritual significance because being in the area of the world that they lived in, they literally lived or died by the waters of the Nile. And so they revered it. It was seen as a life-giving source that sustained them. And they took that from the physical into the spiritual as well. It was also associated with the Egyptian goddess Isis, which represented fertility, rebirth, and also the flow of time. In the Hindu tradition, water is considered to have such a strong purifying effect, and it's used in rituals and ceremonies. The sacred river of the river Ganges. Are you seeing a theme here? Sacred rivers around the world. Maybe we should do a show on that. Who knows? But the Ganges River also holds great spiritual significance for the Indian people. And of course, in Native American tradition, water was cherished because it's part of the ecosystem, because a very earth-based culture. So many ways to use water by so many different cultures and countries. It's phenomenal, isn't it? That something that we just turn on a tap and take for granted has so much meaning, has so much depth. Okay, let's go to another question. It's our lightning round. Yes, our lightning round. So start putting in yes or no questions. Do it now. Put in you can do more than one question. This is the one time where you're allowed to ask more than one question. Start typing in those yes, no questions for our lightning round. And I will answer yes or no based on my intuition, or based on the card, or based on the tea coin. So let's start seeing those questions coming in. How fast can you type? Oh, you do know that the lightning round, the yes no questions. I'll explain that in a minute. Riddle asks, will I receive my LVMH contract this week? No. Sorry about that. And have we got some more? Let's see. Yes no questions. And Riddle asks, will my contract meeting in Paris go well? Undetermined. Have we got more questions? And that's what I meant to say before. It's yes, no, or undetermined. So let's keep going with this lightning round. How fast can your fingers type to get those questions in? I will answer as many of them as I can, and we will see what the answers are for you. This yes, no thing is always a challenge for me, because I go yes and I want to go and. And Jenny Lynn asks, is my sister being sincere? I've got a yes for that one. So yes, and I want to say more, but I'm not allowed to. And Sun said, is William cheating while at work? Thank you. Let's have a look. And I've got no. How are we going? More? Oh, look, they're coming in hot and fast now. And we've got Riddle. Riddle asks, will I travel to France this upcoming week for work? Let's have a look. No. Only yes or no. See what I mean? I get so tempted. Let's keep going. Yes or no questions. Who else do we have? Because this is really so hard when you're psychic, as all the other psychics here will tell you with the yes, no, because there's always a story behind it. There's always a reason behind those yes, no questions. And I love doing them, but it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. So remember, keep typing in those questions. And we've got Asma. And Asma asks, will I get my lost ID card in the next 7 days, please? Let's have a look. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Do you know, with yes, no questions, I have to shuffle so fast when I'm using the cards. And Sun says, will I receive an apology soon from Laura? Let's have a look. That's a no for that one. Any more questions? Keep those questions coming. Take advantage of this yes, no lightning round. And I feel like lightning when I'm shuffling the cards to try and get them in the right order for you with your yes, no questions. So keep keying in. Is it a yes, or is it a no? Or is it an undetermined? That can happen as well. Sometimes spirit don't always want us to know everything. And Haley asks, did I ruin my chance to be with John due to what I've been posting on social media? Let's have a look. That's an undetermined. So much to that one I wanted to answer. Riddle asks, will Ma Anok contact me this week with a work contract? Let's have a look. That's looking yes. Asma asks, is the ID in my house? Let's have a little look. No. Oh, wow, that was so much fun. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, even though this Sagittarian mouth of mine wanted to tell you the whole story. Oh, yes or no is never enough for me. I always want more, and I'm sure you do as well. And don't forget, and Corinna says, thoroughly enjoying your show, Energy. Love the water focus and knowledge you are giving us. I saw and bought my first Aqua Aura crystal 36 years ago. Just a stunning color. Funny you should say that, Corinna. I bought my first Aqua Aura crystal, would have been in the early 2000s as well, and was absolutely smitten by it. One of the most beautiful crystals. Okay, I think we should go on to another question. Who do we have, please? And Riddle. Oh, Riddle, we can go more deeply into your question now. Will I travel to France and Italy in November for my modelling contract signing and meeting? Okay, so I'll just stop it at the first one because the second one is actually a second question. So will you travel to France and Italy? So let's have a look about this contract for you for modelling. How exciting would that be? Two places I would love to go to, France and Italy. So let's have a look. All right. I feel initially there's going to be some delays for you because I've got the Devil card reversed. And so I feel that there'll be a few little delays. I feel that there is something around the information in the contract that you need to look at. And I feel also that there's going to be delays around the actual travel itself. However, the delays won't be forever. I've got the Four of Wands here, so I do see it happening. I do see you actually using this as a stepping stone to something bigger and something greater, but it's looking positive once you get past those delays. And I've also got the Six of Cups for you. And I feel with that Six of Cups, this is about you going with the flow. I feel that you've got to stay very present in the here and now and be very aware of all of the steps that will lead you to go there, and be very aware of them. And finally, I've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So I feel like for you, this is going to be a huge adjustment for you doing this. So I feel be as prepared as you can. Find out more about what it is you'll be doing there. Find out more about where you will stay. Find out all the practical things that you need to consider before you sign on the dotted line. And let's do a T-coin up for you. And we have the hourglass. So yeah, this is all about timing for you rather than a complete yes or a no. I feel that the contract will be delayed because of some things that need to be sorted out. So I do hope you found that to be of help. And thank you so much for your question. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, if you would like to have a more in-depth reading, a longer reading, then of course you can donate. And if you donate before the end of the show, you'll be guaranteed a reading tonight. To do a donation, all you have to do is go into the chat and click on the donation link. And of course, with donations, you get moved to the top of the queue, so no waiting. All right, a little bit more about water. Water is, we don't drink enough water. Let's face it, I'm guilty of that. On average, we should be drinking about 2 litres a day, depending on what's happening in our own bodies. And so we do take water for granted. But when it comes to the mythology of water, oh my lordy, it's so exciting. I feel like I'm a squirrel, Miss Squirrel at the moment when she does her mythology of astrology. I'm looking at the mythology of water. And in the mythology of water, there are elements that are attached to water. And one of them is the undine, and the undine is considered to be like a water fairy is the best way I would describe an undine. And these are these elemental creatures of water that are part of it. And of course, who can forget mermaids and mermen as well? And in Scotland, they have these mythological creatures that come in the water called selkies, and selkies were considered water horses. And how they were seen was the foam of the waves at the top of the wave action, as though horses were galloping in. So there are so many interesting mythological connections to the element of water. All right, let's keep going. Who have we got next? And we have Sun Empress. And Sun Empress says, can you tell me if me and Joey actually have potential, or if he has a girlfriend? Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this and see how it's looking for you. So I'm going to start off with the girlfriend. Is there a girlfriend? And how might this relationship move forward? Gee, I think you've got a lot of hurdles to cross. I don't actually think that this person's got a girlfriend per se, but I do feel like they're not just focused on you. With this Queen of Swords reversed, I feel that, if I put it this way, upright, one is not enough. So I feel at the moment that it's not just necessarily another girlfriend. I feel like they're just not ready to commit to you. I've also got the Five of Pentacles, and you're feeling a little bit on the outside of that at the moment because you want to be in a committed relationship with this person, but they're not ready. That's the crux of it. They don't seem to be ready. And the Three of Wands, I feel, this is why I say you've got some stops and blocks and things to get over first, because with that Three of Wands reversed, there's no clear path forward with this person. I feel that neither of you are really talking about your emotions and your heart very much. And I feel that that's because neither of you are actually ready yet. I feel that you've just got to go with the flow, using a bit of a water analogy here, go with the flow and see where it develops. Unless you have both agreed to a commitment to each other, it's okay for both of you to be with other people, to date other people until that commitment is made. And even then, that depends on what you both agree to. But I do feel like moving forward in this relationship, it is going to be a bit of a struggle because I have the Star card reversed as well. So I feel like for this, don't invest too much of your heart into it at the moment. I feel you need, coming back to my old mantra, open, honest communication, do some dating, look at where you are at, and take it from there. Thank you so much. And wow, we've come up to Mystic Moment already. Well, I've got a very different mystic moment for you tonight. So I'm going to ask you just to find a spot to sit quietly in front of your computer, your phone, radio, whatever it is that you're listening or watching the show from. And I just want you to sit quietly because we're going to do, now don't let the words scare you, we're going to do a mystic meditation on water. Now, meditation doesn't mean you have to sit cross-legged like a pretzel on the floor. You can just sit or lie down comfortably. And so this is a little mini water relaxation meditation. So close your eyes and relax. And I'm going to ask you to take a slow, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And a slow, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth as you feel your body relaxing. And I want you to imagine yourself in nature. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. There's a gentle breeze. And you find yourself sitting in front of the most placid, deep, cool blue lake. The energy of the water of this lake is so still. And you take a moment to gaze at the lake, to gaze at this cool blue water and connect with this soothing, stress-releasing energy of the element of water in the lake. And as you focus on this lake, feeling the soft energy of the flow of the water quietly there, you draw that energy of water, you draw the stillness of the lake into your being, into your heart, and you give yourself permission to let go and go with the flow. Go with the flow of relaxation that the element of water can bring. And then I'll ask you just to slowly take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And gently open your eyes, being aware of sitting or lying down, being aware of the room you're in, being aware that you are watching me, Innerji, the Metaphysical Crone, here at My Psychic Connection. I do hope you found that to be of help. You know, meditation, you don't have to sit for hours and hours. You can do little mini meditations and relaxations like this. So I encourage you to keep doing things like that, whether it be at a lake, the river, the ocean, using any of the other elements. It can be so helpful during our busy, busy day. So there we go, a little bit of meditation for you that's easy to do. Let's take our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Sun. Sun asks, I feel William is cheating, but no real proof. He's good at keeping things so it's just a feeling. If your cards can see that, if it's true. Well, look, what I'm going to do, Sun, is I'm going to look at this relationship to start with, because if you have a question about somebody cheating, then there is a lack of trust there, which tells me that there's something not quite right in the relationship. So I want to look at that to start with. So let's see what we've got. Okay, we've got a card that jumped out. And let's do two more. So in terms of your relationship, I've got the Knight of Wands, and I feel like you've both got to look at this relationship a little more seriously than you have been. In terms of him cheating, I'm not getting a yes or no about that with this card. But I will say he is very attractive to others. Others think he's got charm. He's got charisma. He's the Knight of Wands after all. So he's got a lot of charm and charisma. So he is attractive to other people. I also have the Three of Pentacles, and I do feel like he has lots of female friends, and I do feel like he is a team player. He likes to do things in groups with people. Does that mean he's cheating? Not necessarily. And the third card I have is the Four of Cups reversed. Now, when this card is upright, everybody's having a good time, but there's one person who isn't. So the fact that this is upside down is saying to me, yes, he knows how to be out there and have a good time, but is it cheating? I am not getting a yes or no in regard to that. Let's do a two-point and see. And I've got the tent. The tent is all about retreating, taking some time out. So what I feel is, if you feel that this is happening, if you feel that he is cheating, and I'm not getting a yes or no, I'm not being given one either way. It looks like he could be, but it also could be he's just friendly with women as well. So I think you need to go and find the facts. I feel that you need to and have some open communication about it. All right. Thank you so much for your question. It's never easy, is it? You know, when we love someone and in a relationship with someone, you know, and we don't have proof about whether they're cheating or not, it's a fine line to walk. It really is. And what I usually say for people is, if you think that, then look at the relationship itself first. Why are you asking the question? Have a look at what might not be working in the relationship. That might not necessarily mean they're cheating, or it might mean they are. But I'm a firm believer when it comes to that side of things, that you really need to get factual proof and not rely just on intuition or gut instinct. Because otherwise, if they're not cheating, you could ruin a very potentially good relationship for the future. And if they are, having the facts makes it easier to confront the person. So I do hope you found that helpful. I know it's not quite the answer you were looking for, but hopefully it will give you and everyone who's in that situation a way forward as well. All right, a little bit more about what you can do with water. People like the moon. That's what I was trying to say. The moon is equated to the water element, because the moon in astrology is considered a feminine, receptive, soft energy. And literally, the moon controls the tides here on Earth. Literally, there's a magnetic pull that pulls the tides, makes them bigger or makes them smaller. So the moon is considered that beautiful feminine goddess receptive energy. And of course, those of us who are into crystals put our crystals out under the full moon. We meditate under the full moon. Some of us even howl at the full moon. I'm not one of them, because I don't want to frighten my neighbors away. But the other thing I wanted to say about the water element and the moon is that you can create moon water. How do you do that? You get some preferably distilled water, or you get rainwater is another good one, or water that has been filtered in some way. You put it in a glass container. I always like to cover it with a bit of netting so no insects can get in. And then I place that bowl out under direct moonlight, and I leave it out there overnight. And then once that water is charged with the beautiful moon's energies, I can then use that in my own way to either use it as a cleansing, anointing tool. I can use it for my altar. I can use it in so many different ways. So a little bit about how you can spiritually or esoterically use water in relation to the moon. Okay, let's go to our next question, please. Who do we have? Oh, we've got our emoji contest winner. Yay! Excellent. I'm so happy about that. So our winner is Rudy. Thank you so much for putting in all of those emojis. So for you, I'm going to use a couple of different decks for your reading. So I'm going to start off with the Whispers of Aloha deck. And I'm going to do a card from that. I'm then going to do a card from my 2-in-1 deck that I like to use. We'll see what that has to say for you. And then I'm going to do one from my astrology deck, just to be a little bit different tonight. I'm going with the ebb and flow of that water element, changing things up. All right, so here we have, the first card we have is called Generate Shifts. And this is about you going into a new phase or a new dynamic. So, you know, I feel like for you, changes in the air, change is happening. As I said before, there are some things that are getting in the way, but it looks like it's shifting. Things are shifting in your direction. We've also got the card for Sanctuary, and I feel where you're at the moment, there's a lot going on for you, a lot of preparation, and I feel like you need to have a little bit of time out at the moment. I feel like you need to draw on that inner strength that you have around what it is that you need to do, particularly over the next couple of months with that potential contract and moves happening going on from your previous reading. And I've also got the astrology card of conjunction. This is about when two things are next to each other, they blend and they meld. So I see for you moving forward that these shifts that are going to be happening for you are going to blend and meld into something completely new. But the card in the middle says that you need to have time out. You need to have rest periods. You need to have that quiet inner stillness so that your strength will show through in the decisions that you have to make. I hope you found that to be helpful, and congratulations on being tonight's emoji winner. That is fantastic. And of course, don't forget, if you would like to donate for a longer, more in-depth reading, you can click on the link in the chat and we will do that reading for you. Okay, I think we should go straight to another question while I put all my cards away and see who we have. And we have Asma. So Asma asks, will I get the lost ID card in 1 week? Well, that came up as a yes before, and it wasn't in the house. It's fallen outside. So let's have a look a little bit more into this for you about this lost ID card. I wonder where it might be. I've just had a picture put in my head. It's outside, but it's somewhere on the ground where there's like a footpath, a walkway, or it's concrete. And I feel it's kind of slipped out of a pocket or slipped out of a wallet. And I feel that that's where it is. So you need to think back about where you have been walking that has more like pathways, walkways, like pavements, where it might be, and look there. Let's add some cards to that and see what we've got. I feel that you will get it back. I feel that someone's picked it up and handed it in somewhere. So it's not just a matter of going back and looking at the ground. You need to look at your surroundings. Are there shops there? Are there offices there where someone may have handed it in? But I do feel like someone has picked it up and they have it. I do feel that you will get it back within 1 week. And what I'm saying about that is sometimes you will get an ID card back in 1 week. It might not actually be the one you've lost. It might be a new one. That's what I'm saying there. But have a look at where you've been from the time that you noticed it missing and start thinking about what shops are there, what businesses are there, where have you been? Has someone picked it up and handed it in? And ask there. I do hope you found that to be of help, and thank you for such an interesting question. That really was a good one to use with the tarot cards as well as intuition. So a little bit more about water. Water related to our emotions. It's a wonderful element to equate to our emotions because our emotions are ever changing. Our emotions are never static. They are doing this ebb and flow. And the other thing with water, of course, it reflects the color blue as well. And so the color blue, when we equate it to water, is about emotional loyalty, emotional trust. And we've had a few relationship questions tonight where trust is being doubted. So blue is a great color when you want to engender loyalty and trust with other people. It's calming and relaxing to our soul, our spirit, our mind, our psyche. And on the negative side, it can bring us down a little bit too far. If we have too much of the water element, that's when we can fall into pessimism, we can fall into sadness, we can fall into depression. And if we fall too far, it's really hard to climb back out again. So remember, with the elements, just as with everything that we have in our dual existence here on the planet, there is a light and a shadow side to it. I do hope you found all of the information on the water element tonight to be of help. So let's go to our last question for the evening. My gosh, the ebb and flow has gone quickly tonight, hasn't it? And Susan asks, will I move residence in the next few months? Things are not good with the person I'm with. Susan, let's have a look for you. And I'm sorry you're going through a bit of a hard time at the moment. So I'm going to go through month by month and see. So I'm going to look at the rest of November, December. I'm going to go January and February. So we'll look 4 months ahead and see how that is. So I don't see any change at the moment for you in finding somewhere because I've got the Page of Wands reversed, and that's saying to me no action, not even a little action. So I feel that you have to be a little bit patient. In December, I don't see a move in December either, but with this Hermit card, what I can see for you December is that if there's possibility for you to get away, have a little bit of a break from where you're living, if you're close to family or visiting family over Christmas, trying to have that little bit of time out while you're trying to work out how you can move and where you can move to. So December, just keep things a little bit more quiet if you can. And also keep it to yourself. Don't broadcast it too much. The other card for January is I've got the Knight of Wands reversed. So again, I feel January is not a good month for you to find somewhere to live. I feel that it is going to be a bit of a long journey for you. And finally, for February, I've got the Magician reversed as well. I do feel like you've got a long haul ahead of you with this Magician card reversed in February. I do feel, though, that things will start to change in February. I feel like you'll have some things in place, but there's still something that's missing that stops it from actually happening. So what can you do? Start doing your research now if you haven't already. Start looking at what it is that you need in a place to live. Do you want to live by yourself? Do you want to be in a group house? You have lots of questions that you need to. And I'm sorry, that was the bell. Gosh, we've come to the end of the show. I hope you have enjoyed it. And don't forget, of course, we have amazing live shows here at My Psychic Connection all the time. Plus, we have everything on our YouTube channel as well, including something new on YouTube. We have the new horoscopes with Journey Ryan. Journey does a horoscope for each of the sun signs, so make sure you check those out. I listened to mine the other day and it was awesome. It was so spot on as well, so I'm going to be following the advice of that. And of course, tonight at midnight, we have our beautiful Journey Ryan again with Psychic K with the Shadows of Dreams. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, Miss Bunny Sugar's Down the Rabbit Hole. 10 p.m. it's our own Squirrel with Whispers from the Forest. And then Miss Squirrel is back at midnight with Journey Ryan. And yes, I'm going to be there too for the astrology breakdown. So I look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, much love to you. Go with the flow and take care. Bye-bye.